this Cuz the Internet podcast. I'm your host, Trey.
And I'm your Jose. Let's get into it. So, your favorite spot of all times. I mean, not spot, your website, OnlyFans.
Mm. Psych,
They're looking to go.
I do not go on. I have to clear this up. I was a little too happy when you said it. I do not go on OnlyFans.
They're trying to rebrand and clean up their image. So they're now trying to move away from the adult stuff and try to make it more business savvy so they can get more investors and stuff like that, advertisers. What do you feel about that?
I think it's a smart move. I think they should have actually, other than like the short-sightedness, I would say, because again, it's going to have a lot of buzz. Sex sells, right? So pushing it out that way, a lot of people are going to be joining. A lot of people are going to be wanting to visit the site, but then there's only so much. You reach a cap, and now you have to expand. So it makes sense that they would clear.
Inevitable.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, not everybody is willing or wants to even put their product or whatnot on a site that has porn, to be honest. So it's like they do need to change it up to actually reach a broader fan base or broader people. Exactly. So yeah, no, it fully makes sense. I don't knock it. It's the smart thing to do. I'm surprised it took them so long. They legit waited until the well ran dry to now move on. They should have been done that. But how do you feel about
And that's
it?
exactly it. No, I definitely agree. It's smart business decision.
Yeah.
Like you said, they took way too long with pivoting and maneuvering into this field, but hey, they did what they did. They made whatever money they could make while they were doing it. I mean, it got popular around the time of the pandemonium because everybody was locked inside their house. Nobody can go to tip clubs. So, hey, their favorite females are doing, or even males are doing stuff on OnlyFans. They're like, you know what? Instead of me going to the tip club, paying thousands and thousands of dollars trying to impress people, I pay my $5.99, $19.99, $60, $9.99. But they pay whatever they pay, and they have it for a month. They can do whatever they want. Okay, they can see their the apple of their eyes.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. Now it's over. People are now going back into the world. They don't have to actually do this anymore because they can go see whatever they want live and in flesh.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it did take them way longer than it should have, but hey, they did what they did. It's a smart business move. I don't blame them for it.
Yeah, I fully agree.
And you remember when Camille Winbush, the young daughter from the Bernie Mac show.
That's exactly who I was going to bring up. They should have followed her though. Like the way she said it and marketed herself on it, it fully makes sense. So it's like, just once she said it, that's the only time it actually clicked to me. Like, no, that's a great platform to have people pay to see your content. It doesn't have to be sexual to see what you want to put out.
Exactly.
But yeah, it took them a while again to get to this point where I'm just thinking it might not be too late, but I think the kind of overall buzz of it has died down so much that they should have really capitalized on it sooner, in my opinion.
I don't think it's too late.
No?
Not at all. Because, I mean, the name is still out there. People still know of it.
Yeah.
At this point, somebody's going to take it over. They might rebrand it, re-image it, and market it where people will be like, oh, okay, cool. And they're going to jump on that. I don't see it hurting anybody because, like us, if we started an OnlyFans for CuzTheInternet, okay, you pay $5, you can go onto it and you can see all the stuff that we're doing, us brainstorming. It's not going to hurt anybody. So people will still use it as a business because people know that it's still out there. It's still, like, if this was, say, 20 years ago, it came out and now they're trying to do this, people wouldn't even be thinking of it because they're going to be thinking that's old news. People's moved on to bigger and better things, but this is still relatively new. So.
But you don't think that they've created such a strong stigma of what OnlyFans is that it's going to be very difficult for them to try to rebrand it?
No.
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 Okay.
You
Understand.
think it is?
I think that they have an upward climb. Again, once you're associated with legitimate porn, it's going to be difficult, not for people that are modernized people like us that, understand, hey, you could go on different sites for different things. So we get it. But to just the average person that doesn't really pay attention to too much and there's no OnlyFans sex, it's going to be difficult to change their mind into OnlyFans cooking. I'm
But
just
it's not
saying.
going to be those people they're going to be marketing themselves to. It's going to be the people who think like us and they say, you know what, brilliant idea. It's like Pornhub.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in the name. They're not going to be able to rebrand and change it to anything else
Mm.
unless they change the name and everything.
Yeah.
But same way how that is known for porn,
Yeah.
people can put their music videos and stuff on that site.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
OT Genesis, when he did the Love remix,
Yeah.
and Keith Cole was like, "Take it down." He put on Pornhub,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Get it down from that now, ha ha ha," because he knows it's there. It's going to be there for life. Nobody can really take it
Yeah.
down from there. I mean, they could if they really want to do, but you understand what I'm saying.
I
It's too
fully
much
get it.
hassle
I
for
fully
nothing.
get it.
Same thing with OnlyFans, but OnlyFans, people just used it as that, and so in people's minds, oh, that's what it's for, but it's only for fans, not for.
I get the
No, no, I
concept. I get
understand.
the
And this is
concept. I
why I'm saying
just.
it's easier for them to do it because it's not to say their name has anything to do with porn. Like, there's nothing racy or anything in the name. It's just people may think of that first because that's what people used it for mainly.
Yeah.
But in reality, it was for your fans. So your fans paid for your service, your product, whatever you were selling,
Yeah.
and you gave it to them. That's what it was. So I
No.
don't think it's going to be hard for them to do it.
And honestly, you're probably right. It's just me, it's synonymous. The name is
Yeah.
synonymous with sex. So until they actually show me or I see somebody fully utilizing the platform for something else, it's going to be, that's what I automatically think of when I hear it. So I'm assuming a lot of people feel or think the same way that aren't going to
Mm-hmm.
really care to check out OnlyFans instead of YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
just saying.
No, I get it. So your boy Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger,
Yeah.
he's under fire.
Why?
Scrutiny.
Why would he be under fire? What happened?
Because him and a couple of business partners decided to start a rum. And yeah, it seemed on the up and up.
Mm,
Um, they named it Juve after, the Trinidadian carnival
yeah.
associated with soca and basically partying all night till the morning, partying in the morning.
Yeah.
Um, People feel like he's being a culture vulture by taking the name, and people are not happy with it. I mean, it changed my life in no way.
No, but
Didn't change the taste of mustard, but
I want to hear your opinion on it. To be honest, what is your opinion? Even though you don't care, what's your opinion?
okay. So people just want to be mad about things. That's really
Okay.
it. Now, okay, hold on. I take it back because I don't know what his business partners are. I don't know if they are black, white, Asian,
Okay.
Indian. I don't know what they are. So
Yeah.
they may have just tried to be monopolizing off of it. But at
Mm,
the end of the day, it's Michael B. Jordan
yeah.
of African American descent. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, why is it so wrong for him to use the word? Now, he trademarked the name.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are in uproar saying he trademarked the name and how could he take that name? It's theirs and this is what they do it for. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But him trademarking the name doesn't stop them from using the name for their parties, Juve, whatever. It only stops them from making a rum or alcohol and calling it Juve.
Yeah.
So I don't see why people got mad about it. At the end of the day, it could have been, you know what? Let's work with him. He work with them and say, hey, this will be the official rum of Juve. And every time you think of Juve, get this rum. It could have been a win-win for both of them.
Yeah.
That's just how I was thinking. But Maybe I'm wrong because it's a win for him because they've already been doing Juve. Juve has already been popular, so I don't see them really winning from it. But give it to them at a discounted price. Give them a couple for free. I don't know. I'm just saying it's really not as bad as people were making it seem. You?
So I'll start it off by saying, no disrespect, but you in my opinion, you're kind of sounding as though it's from a privileged position, because he directly took a culture that he legit does not necessarily, in my opinion, might not know the history of. Like Juve has a long history. I just kind of read up on a little of it only after this because I just associated it with, you know what I mean, party, yeah, but there's more behind it. So knowing that now there's more behind it, I could understand an outsider taking that and just putting a correlation that a party that we have on every, once a year. That's why I'm naming it. Like, no, there's something behind it. You have to still show respect, in my opinion, to the culture and where you're getting whatever the rum or whatever from. Like, I watched The Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne was making a point on this. He was saying that at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt you to do research. Get some Trinidadians in and ask them how do they feel about it. Do they, of course, not one or two Trinidadians speak on all, but at least you could have a better concept or understanding of what will make this easy to digest. What will show that I'm showing respect to the culture and not just trying to capitalize off the culture. Okay.
Sorry for cutting you. But, okay, suppose he did. We don't know. Now, keep in mind, this is way left field, but hear me out.
Okay.
You have a boy, and he's of Caucasian descent. Mm-hmm. And you've known him since you guys were in diapers. He's grew up around the family. This is a hypothetical person. This is not a real person. But now he's so cool, we give him the pass to say the N-word. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Can't happen, but
so,
I feel you.
But no, we would never. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, we give him a pass to say the N-word.
Okay.
So now we gave him the pass. So in his mind, I'm an official N-word. I can use that word.
Okay.
Let him go down the block where they're not his people, and he used the N-word. Then it's a problem. Just like this Juve thing. Hold on.
Okay.
He may have talked to some Trinidadians or people from Trinidadian descent that he knows, and they're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, go for it. Because they may not have read that deep into it. They may have just been like, it's just a name. This would be cool. We'll drink this for Juve, and yeah, it'll be dope. Go for it. Okay. They may have just been like, who cares? It's just a name. We don't know.
Again, we don't know. My counter to what you're saying is that at the end of the day, even if I were to give a white person the right to use that word, I would still make sure they understood the history about it, make sure they understood that, okay, you could say that with me because I don't see it that way, but for the most part, anybody else would see it. My whole point is I'd give them a full layout of that word. So even if he did speak to some Trinidadians of some, or some descendants of Trinidadians or direct Trinidadians, if they did not make sure he understood how he should bring this out to the world and the type of respect he should put on it, because I'm sure if he would have came out rather than, I'm coming out with a rum, it's called Juve, and actually showed respect of, in honor of my Trinidadian brothers and sisters, I want to make sure that this is captured. And but like if he came out with a full understanding of it, I think that the world and Trinidadians would have seen it differently rather than it sounding like as though it's just business. A lot changes when something is given with respect. It didn't seem like there was any respect behind it. It legitimately just seemed like I'm capitalizing on, this is what we do. We all celebrate this, and I'm making a rum about it. Y'all enjoy, rather than any knowledge of the history. It didn't sound like it. It was really just a layout of it. Maybe he didn't have enough time to do that, but at the end of the day, as you always say, first impression's everything. So when I see that you're taking my culture and just trying to make money off of it without showing the proper respect, I will feel away. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I don't think it would have changed anything. People would have still
Okay.
been mad.
Okay.
You already know how people are. Even if you got 99 out of 100 people to be like, you know what, I'm on board for it. There's still that one person who's going to say, nah, that's not right. Because, and they're going to have their reason why. So even if he went to Trinidad and said, hey, this is what I want to do, then it's going to be one of those things where, okay, so give us a cut from it. It's going to be more than it should have been, where all he's doing is using a name.
But again, that makes sense. So even if there was something as give us a cut, or at least
No.
invest back into the community, or
Hear
go
me
ahead.
out. I'm not saying that's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm saying there will always be something. Because even if he did that, somebody's still going to turn around saying, oh, well, he's giving the government the funds, but that's not doing anything for us because we're still poor and we're still... People will always have something to say.
Okay.
At the end of the day, even if he rolled out with everything, all the bells and whistles saying, this is what I'm doing this for and this is the respect I'm giving, somebody would have found fault in it. I don't
Possibility.
blame him for it's just the name. But anyways, I get it. I
can't
get why
co-sign
they'd
that.
be upset. No, I'm not asking you to co-sign
You
it.
need
I
to
can
ask
get
me. You
why.
see, that's the problem. Michael B. Jordan right there. You need to ask me to co-sign it. Don't just be throwing random stuff out there and be like, oh, take it, Juve. Be like, no, what? This guy.
But no, I mean, at the end of the day, he put out an apology and they're changing the name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to him. He's giving them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, and demanded.
Once again, exactly. And I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. They didn't need it. They didn't want it. Obviously, they did. I'm not saying I disagree with them. I'm just saying it was a name and people were just mad just because they wanted to be upset about it.
I don't
Because
agree.
I think that's really it. People just want something to be upset about and they chose to be upset about it.
I think a lot of times when you see your heritage being commercialized and it seems as though it might not be under the right terms or respect, I think it's easy to be upset or bothered by something. Again, we're very strong in our Jamaican heritage, right? And you see how upset, at least I was, and I know you were bothered by the...
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Yes.
With all this being said,
because I'm talking about dreads here. I was talking about the couple with the
we
dreads.
ain't gonna talk about dreads right now. We gonna talk, but yeah, that was mad disrespectful.
Okay.
Chet Hanks, when he does his stupidness, and I'm vexed. And you're like, oh, it's hilarious, man. It's cool. Yo, he gets a pass.
Whoa,
you know
whoa,
his
whoa,
family
whoa,
is.
whoa,
Yo,
whoa,
F
whoa,
yourself.
whoa,
That's
whoa,
how I feel
whoa.
about you.
Whoa,
That's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about you.
I never said
That's
he
how
was
I feel about
invited to any barbecue, okay? What I said was, it's hilarious. It's still funny to me, okay?
It's
I can't
not
deny
funny,
that it's
though.
funny. It's funny to me.
But what is so funny about it? Like, this is what gets on my nerves. So you know what? I take back everything I said. Michael B. Jordan, I'm glad you're taking it back. And I'm glad you're changing the name. You should check with people and get their respect and honor and everything before you do stupidness like that.
You know what?
I agree with
I
that.
changed my opinion. Michael B. Jordan, you got a point. That Jordan's hilarious. Keep going.
Oh, Chet Hanks. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, Chet's the best, bro. He is freaking hilarious. Other than his like personal life of getting beat up and I don't know, so much goes on with Chet Hanks, man. But other than that, he's funny. He's a funny guy. His Jamaican
But the
accent
problem
kills
is
me.
he's not trying to be a comedian, so this is him and you're just no.
Oh man, I don't want to be taken up for Chet Hanks. I don't.
So if you're asleep and your girl's asleep, y'all are sleeping together, and you wake up and you hear her calling an ex's name in her sleep, would you be mad at her? Would you talk to her about it? What would you do?
I know this. All right, I'll I'll just start, because you know me, I always have these different conditions and weird things. But I'll just start off by saying it depends on how it's being said. No matter what, I think it would bother of somebody, because you just be like, what the? But then it would matter how it was being said. If it's like just a scream out or something, like something dangerous happening, or if it was like a moan sound and something that you're just like,
We'll just say it's the moan sound.
that's a hurts, don't it? Um, I don't know. To be honest, I would be bothered. Definitely, I'd be bothered. I'd be like, what the? And you know, I'm vindictive, bro. So I'll be like fake sleeping just to get back. Like, just to throw out a couple names. But no, I don't know, bro. No, I'd be bothered. Yeah, there's not much more you could say. You'd be bothered, but then at the end of the day, there's certain things you can control and can't. So if someone's sleeping and they're dreaming of something, like they can't necessarily control it, but it doesn't mean that it still wouldn't bother or hurt your pride. Because I know myself, and be honest, it would bother and hurt my pride. And I'd be like, I'd probably have a stink face for a couple days until I could actually forget about it. But I'd probably be like, so you think about him again? You know what I mean? We silent eating supper. So you think about it? I'm telling you, man. I can't even lie, bro. That would definitely bother me, man. How about you?
I mean, obviously, it's one of those things that would bother you, but I don't think it would bother me enough for me to lose sleep about it or over it.
Bro, you
Literally.
woke time out. So time out. You woke up to her moaning about her ex, and it wouldn't make you lose sleep?
Okay.
Hmm.
It's okay. You wake up in the morning and you're like, so, what did you dream about last night? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, you remember Mr. X? Okay, what about him? Oh, you were moaning his name last night. And the thing is, I couldn't be upset about it because you're dreaming. It's not something you're doing consciously. It's not to say you're awake and you're like, we're in the middle of doing what grown-ups do and you call his name. It's different. Like, whoa,
You're
why are you
you're
calling his name while we're doing this?
you're a better man than me, bro. Because I am the biggest cock blocker. I'm waking her up. Okay, I let you finish that dream. Like you let, bro. I'm interrupting. You said I'll just go back to sleep and wait in the morning. No, you ain't finished. I'm blocking that. I'm blocking that cock, bro. Okay.
Yo, off topic. Hardest song in the world. T-Pain, Phantom, off his Three Rings album.
Yeah.
You try to do your thing, and I'ma block that cock, and I'ma make y'all stop.
Yeah.
Classic song. But yeah, no, definitely, bro. I'm not letting you finish that dream. That's just way too much happening for me to just be go back and still moaning.
Oh, okay, hear me out. It's not one of those things that you're gonna continue doing it, and I'm just gonna be there like, okay. Like if you say it and you go back to sleep and nothing's being said, nothing being done, and it is what it is. But I mean, if you're there making all types of love noises, then okay, hey, yo, you're waking up everybody in the house.
Okay.
What's going on? Like, calm down. I know what you're dreaming about. Like, it's one of those things. Like, all right, cool, you good? All right, good night.
And at least you saved a little bit, man, because I was like, this dude is good, bro. You just be like,
no. But no. I mean,
I'm gonna sleep in the other room. You're like, you gonna let him finish that dream, bro? But I feel you.
No. There is a couple in Florida, a 23-year-old woman. She beat up her girlfriend, who's 21 years old, because she said her ex's name while she was sleeping. Do you think it was justified to beat up somebody?
No, it's very childish. That's ridiculous. That's on another level. Need to grow up. Like, again, I'm not going to lie. Even a little bit of attitude is childish. So that is 100%. But it's still something that even if you wanted to hide it, sometimes you can't. You just like, how was your dream? You know what I mean? You might give the attitude. But to actually get physical over some, anyways, there should not be any type of physical, but I'm just saying, to get physical over a dream that you don't even know what's happening in the dream, and just because, that's just another level of toxic and abuse. That's just not okay at all. So no, definitely not. How you feel about it?
Yeah, no, definitely not okay. Saw it on the Breakfast Club, and then they were asking Angela Yee how would she deal with her dude if he said his ex's name while he was asleep, and she said she'd be mad at him for a couple of days, or but I don't see the sense in being mad at somebody over the dream.
There is no sense to it. I don't think anyone could actually justify. But if you're on, not you, because I know the type of person you are, but the average person that has emotions flowing like that, they would be feeling a way, and it's something that you wouldn't want to feel. But then it's just in you that you'd be like, is that person still on your mind? It's very insecure, but you're dreaming about that person, so it's just like, what's up? Like, what were you dreaming about? If the person comes up with a good enough like reason, like, no, we were just escaping a power plant before it blew up, it was the weirdest dream. Then you're like, but if the person
that's why
just
they moaned during the power plant.
I don't know. See, that's mad weird. I don't know. But I'm just thinking of different reasons why it'd be okay. But if it's like, I don't know, it was so weird. Like, we were like in paradise making love, and then
but
like,
suppose you guys wake up, okay? You're vexed because of what you heard.
Yeah.
And she wakes up and she's like, yo, babe, I had the worst nightmare. Like, I was with Mr. X and we were in paradise. Maybe it was like in the Garden of Eden, and like we were like doing stuff, and like I felt so disgusted when I woke up. Like she brought it to you before you could bring it to her. Is that an issue? Do you still hold a grudge against her, or
not really? Because everything's about how it's done. Because even if you heard that mode and you're just like pissed off, if the person brings it to you and be like, it was so disgusting, like you'd be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, you're able to. It's just pride. Again, it's pride. It's not okay. But go ahead.
Or sometimes people don't even remember their dreams,
and that's most likely
the she gets up and you say it to her and she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nope.
And that's more of the situation I think Angela Yee was talking about, where you'd be upset for a couple of days, but it wouldn't get to nothing physical, but you just still be like, okay, so are you sure you don't remember? Okay. You're just there because it's petty and it's on your mind. That's different from if the person brings it up. If the person brings it up and they're disgusted by it, you're able to just kind of feel like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm tripping right now. Like, but if the person doesn't, or the person doesn't remember, then it still plays on your mind because you know what you heard. You knew how, and she's just like, don't remember. You're like, okay, well, all right. Well, you would let me know, right? If because it's there for you. You caught it. So I'm just saying. I think it's a little different, but that's a lot though. That would suck. I ain't gonna lie. That would definitely suck. And it's one thing if, don't get me wrong, sleeping and a name just comes out, that still hurts hard, but you're able. But like a moaning or something, that's when you're just like, that's one that would stick with you. Just saying.
But see, this is the thing. While sleeping, if it happened, I'm not justifying. I'm not saying it's okay. I mean, it sucks, yes, like you said. Yeah. But if you guys are in the middle of doing something and you're awake and
it's 10 million worse. Yeah.
Of course it is.
Again,
that is where it's. I still don't think you should be physical or put your hand on anybody just because of that.
100%.
But I can understand you being upset and not talking to the person for a couple of days, or being like, do you want to be having that conversation? Do you still want to be with me? Do you want to be with them? Because you're saying their name while you're with me. So maybe you're thinking of them. And it's one of those things.
You wouldn't have that conversation if the person was moaning in their sleep and saying the name? Because I would definitely have that conversation regardless. I'd be like, bruh, like, you were just having, I heard it. Like, I can't change what I heard. Like, are you sure you're not thinking about them? Like, what's good? I would have that conversation even if the person was sleeping. And if the person doesn't remember and they're like, I really don't remember, then you're just like, there's not much you could say. But it's just you. In my opinion, I'd have that conversation regardless. I need to know like why were you sleeping boating about that person? Like, what? Like, are you feeling something? Let me know. I'm just saying. Well, that's hilarious. That...